Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I believe you are staying safe. You are welcome to class. Today, we want to discuss the topic inflation. But before we look at the topic, let us itemize the objectives we set out to accomplish. Number one, we want to identify the different types of inflation. Secondly, we want to identify the causes and control of inflation. And the last one is we want to evaluate the effects of inflation. Let's get started. Let's start by defining the term inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the persistent and sustained rise in the general price level of goods and services in an economy. Having said that, let us move to the next slide and talk about the types of inflation. We have two main types of inflation. We have number one, the demand pull inflation. The demand pull inflation results when there are too many money purchasing few goods and services. Or we can say it is when aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. Secondly, the second type of inflation is the cost push inflation. The cost push inflation results when the cost of production, of the cost of producing goods and services increases, which triggers increase in the price of goods and services. Now, having established the various types of inflation, let us quickly talk about in the next slide how to control what are the causes of inflation. The various causes of inflation. Please take note that there are lots of causes of inflation. But in this class, we just want to talk briefly about four of them. Number one, we talk about increase in demand. Like I said in the previous slide, when aggregate demand outweighs aggregate supply, it will result in inflation. We talk about low production. When the number of goods and services produced in the economy does not match the demand of the people, it can also lead to inflation. Increase in salaries or wages of workers. When workers have more money at their disposal due to increased salaries, they have more money to spend on goods and services, and as a result, it can result in inflation. Then inflation can also occur in the time of war, where there are no opportunities to produce goods and services. Now, having said that, how then can inflation be controlled? Number one, we can control inflation by increasing output level. In other words, when output level is increased, it can match up with the aggregate demand, and the market forces of demand and supply will adjust the price in the market. Through industrialization, which also lead to increased productivity, can also be a control of inflation. We can also use contractionary monetary policies to control inflation. And lastly, we can use fiscal policies measures to control inflation. Please, for details on this, revert to the Google Classroom for more information. And on this note, let us quickly talk about the effects of inflation. Inflation have two major effects. Inflation can have what we call a positive effect and a negative what? A negative effect. Now, what are the positive effects of inflation? Number one, during the period of inflation, there is high tax what? Yields. There is high tax yields for the government because the government will be able to generate more revenue. Number two, there will be increased what? Investment. Increase investment in the economy, because companies will be able to invest. Then we'll talk about the negative effect of inflation, which I will only be able to mention one very quickly now, is that the value of money will drop. Value of money will fall. So for more on this, you can go to the Google Classroom to get more information about this. I think this is all we can take for now. Thank you for participating in today's class. See you soon.